Cheers everybody. It's Sunday afternoon, and for those of you who watched either of my videos last night, as promised or threatened as some may see it, I'm doing another one today. I suspect this one's going to crack on a little bit, and it's one I've been meaning to do, as I said, for about a long time. I've had it in my little notebook and I've kept skipping over it, but it was inspired by a couple of YouTube presenters that I've been watching for as long as I can remember, ever since they came onto YouTube. Well, apart from one who's been making videos longer than I've been watching even, and those two gentlemen, I'll say right up front, who both did a video in exactly the same format, both of which I thoroughly enjoyed, were Dubbing the Dam Pierce and Requiem Pipes Gustavo over in Portugal. And I think entirely separately, I don't think one was a video response to the other. They just went through a sample of their empty tins of tobaccos they tried in their endeavours of smoking, and I'm going to do the same. Now, I've gone into this one today. I thought, well, I'm going to do it. Let's get it out of the way, because I've already brought all the tins into my little study here at one point and took them all back, and I've done that twice now. I'm not doing it a third time. They're there, so I'm going to go through them. Having just recently, for those, again, I keep saying this, but watched the aromatics ones, I know it was essentially 2 videos of me just passing, right, admittedly, not very pretty, empty little plastic bags in front of everyone with a tobacco name on it. So I suppose this one hopefully will be slightly more interesting, in that there are some tobaccos there that everyone will recognise. Well, I think all of them people recognise. There's nothing unusual in there. So it was just something I wanted to do. I, you know, tend to keep my tins, and I think it's something again that, like a drip feed. I know Martin Flankatanka has been getting a lot of empty tins sent to him, where people want clocks made out of it. Now, I've probably got a couple here where Martin, if you're watching this, you might get a little PM from me. I know you've probably got a backlog there. You know, there's so many people, but I've got a couple of tins there which certainly I can't get hold of anymore, and they're not particularly old, as some of the what we call antique ones that he's been sent, but one's certainly out of production, and the other one just can't get anymore. So other than that, it's just going to be going through some tins, and they're not going to be reviews. I'm just going to do as I always try to do. If I can recall, there'll be some there that I don't even remember, and it would have been nice to have little notes on them. Anyway, again, guys, thanks for all the comments on my 2 videos last night, particularly one about tobacco notes. And I know in the video I'd asked for comments people what they did. A lot of people said, yeah, I tried it and gave up. Yeah, I expect I might as well, given my track record of saying I'll do these things and not following it up. But anyway, let me do the housekeeping first. I finally got around to smoking. Hold on. One of my 2 exquisitely restored Stanwell pipes that I gleefully purchased from Spain pipe site Reborn Briars. Now, for any of you thinking of going and buying some, and I hope you won't mind me telling this, I think there should be some more going up on his site soon. For those of you who've got a little pipe acquisition disorder, go and have a look. Go and have a look anyway. It's an actually terrific site. So this is a stand. This is the one I think I've showed in a box opening and a sort of dedication I did to Alan. We think is probably from, well, Alan thinks, and he's more knowledgeable than I am, from the 60s. It's an Anne Julie handmade number 26. So at any I'm smoking. Rattray Hallow wine. And yes, I confess, I used to call that Hell of the Wind for a long time, until Jim Tampa Peterson put me right and explained what it was. A wine, a little lane, Scottish for little lane. Thanks, Jim. I will never call it wind again. I recently bought this. Was I talking about tobacco acquisition disorder last night? Don't know what that's about. Yeah. I tried the 25 gram samplers recently, and this is absolutely lovely. It's primarily quality grade Virginias with Kentucky, and something I didn't realise about Marlin Flake as well until recently, and I've been smoking that for ages, has got perique in it. Very subtle. And even knowing that, it's so subtle that yeah, it's just adding a flavour to the already excellent Virginias, rather than thinking, as some tobaccos, when you have a lot of perique, you can identify it. But anyway, I'm going to put that down for the moment. Now, I will normally in my videos try to keep them as short as possible. I don't know, it's something subconscious I do, that I want people to try and watch videos in what I call bite-sized pieces. So, you know, apart from one I've done of 20 minutes, which a lot of people have watched, and I thank you for that. I'm not going to worry about this one. You know, I've got a fair amount of tins to go through there. I know I can upload videos now over 15 minutes, which, you know, I've proved with, but I don't want to bang on too much. So, you know, I might do this over 2 videos, but I don't particularly want to. So I'm sitting there thinking, you know, it's one of those things, you can stick to the end as well if it's something that interests you. And I certainly, from my personal point of view, I think I should have checked. I've unfortunately recommend perhaps taking all these videos down. So if you're watching, I really hope you're okay. I know you've commented, but yeah, I hope things are okay. I don't know what else to say really. And you know, Dub said that a while ago he wouldn't be making too many videos again, but I think both of the guys might have done their showing of their empty tins over a couple of videos, but we'll see. But I waffled on enough here. Let's get going. These are in absolutely no order. I've got a cupboard there where I keep all my empty tins, opposite to the one I keep all my full tins. So I'm just going to grab these. They're not, you know, they're not in any particular manufacturer. I'm not that. I know I've got about cataloguing tobaccos, but I'm not that anal anyway. So let's just grab them, okay? Right, first one. Again, this is. I'll skip over this one because I've done a video on this recently and I've shown the tin. This is Sam Gower's Grousemore, hay flavoured. You know, go and watch that video if you're interested in that one. It's a unique taste. Let's say that. I'm just going to stick these. Oh, I don't know where to put the bloody things now. This is the problem with it. So I'm going to keep going out of camera shot where I pick these up. I haven't got a proper table, so I'm just picking these up. Now this is one that was very kindly given to me by a Terry Love UK, who, you know, admirably also likes trying out tobaccos as well, and will generously, you know, pass me samples, which he did with this one. Now this is Jermaine's Royal Jersey Perique, or Vapor. Yeah, Perique I think it's actually called. And I agree with Terry. Terry was pretty disappointed in it. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Terry, and as was I also. You know, I do like vapors. I love my Perique. But again, I can't remember what it was about this. It's just tasteless. Again, with the Perique, and I keep going on about this, I like some quality Virginia in there to kind of round everything off. Just give a little bit of sweetness to the peppery, dull sweetness of the Perique. This is just lacking anything other than Perique. And I don't want to particularly smoke Perique on its own, so yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. I've seen so many reviews on this tobacco, you know, I think everyone agrees that this is probably a quality Virginia. Sam Gower's full Virginia flake. It is an out and out premium Virginia. Nothing unadulterated, earthy, I'm going to say leathery, touch of sweetness in it, but just a classic pure Virginia tobacco, and one of, if not the best around yet. And I just love that tin cover. Some of these, as you'll see, I have managed to get the dreaded smoking kills labels off of, which I absolutely hate. I find it easier in the summer, so, you know, when it's hot, they sometimes just peel off. Now, I've bought some of this sticky stuff remover now and again. I think Martin flanker tanker might use something similar to that. So at some point I'm going to go through there getting all the labels off. So I'm not going to keep bending down now, that must be really irritating. Okay, having just said that that's a quality Virginia, here is another one. Sam Gowith's Best Brown. Now, Sam Gowith and Gowith and Hogarth both do a Best Brown unscented, this is. And again, I've actually never done a side-by-side comparison of the two. I've smoked them way, way apart. But I believe Doug T-Monot 2, again, who is excellent at reviewing tobaccos, and when I watch his reviews it makes me realise why I don't do them, because I would not be worthy of those. He has done a side-by-side comparison of Best Brown Sam Gowith and Best Brown Gowith and Hogarth. Go and watch that. And unfortunately, having said that, I can't remember what his verdict was, but this is really, really nice. They both are quality Virginias. This is a kind of I remember getting a more warmer, sweeter taste than the Virginia, less leathery, less earthy. Yeah. Okay, we're sticking to Virginias here. Peterson's Irish Flake, one of the 3 Petersons I will smoke regularly and quite happy to do so. Again, a strong tobacco. It's kind of full smoke, thick smoke, a sweet a maltiness to it that I don't get from the other 2 here. Very rich, beautiful. Crash. Robert O'Connell's Scottish Flake. Lovely little tins, these. Nice little flakes, these, to actually fold and pack. How to describe this one? This is very sweet. It's, I wouldn't call it floral or lakeland like a lot of the, say, Gowith and Hogarth ones, but it's got a tangy sweetness to it, and I would put this very much up there with if you tried it, Gowith and Hogarth's Scotch. Also, I think it's called Scotch Flake. So I don't know what it is particularly why it's called Scotch Flake or what's in it that gives it that sweetness. But there's a difference in the 2 of them. I know it's difficult to describe if you haven't tried a Lakeland, but this, you know, it's floral, but there's a kind of a sweetness to it rather than that Lakeland taste. I'm struggling here because I don't know how to describe it. I normally give up. Yeah, another classic here. Peterson's University Flake. Again, one I smoked for years before I realised there was burley in it. But this has got a very fruity. This is strong. Halfway down the bowl, yeah, it's got a subtle, stealthy approach. You get halfway down the bowl with this and think, God, this is strong. Again, thick smoke. Very, very sweet to begin with, fruity overtones, you know, figs and dates and that kind of thing I get from it, which does settle down halfway down, and you know it becomes more of the burley comes out of that one. So this is why I don't smoke it too often. I'd always probably smoke the top half of the bowl, and that's just such an awful waste of tobacco. Okay. Now, guys, I'm going to be quite brazen here, and it's something I've never done before. When I was putting this out, I thought, oh, I'm going to do it. Let me show you the tobacco first. This is one I can't get anymore. Well, I'm sure I can, but we can't get it in the UK. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure where we can get it. So, you know, I know the way some of you are, you will tell me. A classic Excudo Navy Deluxe Vapor. I haven't had this for an awful long time. Yeah. But when I don't remember the experience in detail, as I won't for a lot of these tobaccos, but it's one of those experiences I remember at the end of it thinking, wow, this is lovely. So I will say here, if anyone can get this readily and is happy to do an exchange with me, please PM me, because I would love to have some of this again. I'm sorry, I know that's really awful to ask that perhaps, but I remember just loving this tobacco, and you know, look at the reviews, people just rave about it, and I'm sure there's a good reason for it, but I can't remember the details of it. I'd love to try it again. I will happily do an exchange. Right. Latakia. Oratries, Red Rapparee. And I know I always bang on about the fact that I don't like Latakia too much. Excuse me. But this is one of the first few I tried. I think I did a video. I think the very first Latakia I tried was Dunhill's Nightcap. Again, well, I've done a video on that. It's probably why it's put me off Latakia, but you know that video's there with the story if you to go and watch if you choose. This one slightly different. I remember getting a lot of citrus notes out of this one, probably from the Virginias in it. But I also recall this one being it may have been my inexperience, but I mean I've been smoking quite a few years before I tried this. Very pernickety, very fussy, very particular about the pipe being extremely clean and what pipe you smoke it in. You know, I know there are a lot of tobaccos which that is the same, but I found this one in particular to be the case. So you know, as Latakia based tobaccos go, this one's not bad. I do like that kind of bright citrus note above the Latakia, the smoky Latakia. So, you know, within the scope of Latakias, I would probably rank that one. Oh, this is quite an old tin. I know they've changed the design completely now. Smoking Keels, look, he's had a little attempt to get that off. That stopped wisely. Peterson's Irish Whiskey. Yeah, I actually do like this one. The reason I hesitated there was because I smoked this one after it being aging for a couple of years, and it was bloody lovely. And I thought, okay, I'll go back and try it again. So you know, it's quite some time ago. I bought one of the the newer tins of the Irish whiskey, and again, it was quite nice. I don't to the point where I didn't remember any difference between this and the newer one. But again, you know, it's got burley in it, but there is that whiskey note over the top, and it's got some quality Virginias in it as well. So I do like that one. They call it an aromatic Thailand burley and fired Kentucky leaf on top of Virginias. Orange and mahogany Virginia tobaccos. Yeah, really nice, that one. So again, I think that's one of the few Peterson ones I would go back to. And I have actually, I've got one aging in there again. Okay, got some Dunhill ones here. Dunhill Royal Yacht. Oh, you know you're smoking this one. This is really strong. I think there's a lot of dark Virginias in there, I would say. It calls itself a unique smoking mixture. So I've got that blooming label on it. But not, and I say that because I don't recall. It's been a little while since I smoked this. I don't recall any sweetness from Virginias on there, which I say why it's dark. It's kind of got a toasted taste to the Virginias in that one. But yeah, pretty strong, that one. Again, I say strong. I don't recall it in terms of nicotine, but you know you've got it in your mouth. It's that thick. I wouldn't say coarse smoke, but you know, if it kind of gets in your lungs, you know it. You know, sometimes, or you know, you get the side stream in your eyes. It's quite strong, actually. So yeah, it's not too bad, that one. It's one I would smoke every now and then, but you know. Okay, this one I've shown before, and one that is no longer in production. Dunhill Ready Rubbed. I don't think it was a particularly well known one at the time. And again, I'd smoked this after having had it aged for quite a while. Again, probably a couple of years, and it was absolutely lovely. And that was quite a while ago. And this is a classic example where it would have been helpful had I had some tobacco notes from the time, because, as I've said, Glyn at Gauntleys does his Trent mixture, which is a reproduction of this. Now, I love the Trent mixture, but I can't say whether it's a very good copy of this or not, because I just don't remember. So in that respect, some notes would have helped, possibly. But I love Glyn's one as well. So you know, Can't get hold of that one anymore. And again, I've got another, well, I say I've got another tin. My dad's got the tin of Elizabethan mixture, which is actually a really nice design tin, but he's had it in his garage. I don't know what he's got. He's screws or something like that in it, and it's well battered. He's also got loads of Capstan flake tins as well in his garage. He's got little slots of them when I had so many. But he's got my Elizabethan mixture tin, and I kind of wish I'd kept it now and put it in my collection. I don't know, I must have given it to him on a whim or something, because that one would have been nice to have a clock made out of, as this one might be, because I can't get hold of it anymore. So anyway, right, how are we doing for time? Absolutely no idea. Yeah, Erringmore mixture. Again, Erringmore flakes were the ones when I very first started smoking that I used to buy along with the Capstan blue and gold tins as well. At the time I thought it was quite nice because they were quite different. This was you know, everyone's tried Erringmore, I'm sure, the flake, and it's a kind of fruity flavour to it. But again, I don't know. I tend not to go back to it. I don't remember what this one was like, the rubbed out version of it, but I just remember being fruity. Okay, we've got a few Sam Goworth now. I hope you're sticking with me on this one. Sam Goworth 1792 flake, previously called cob flake, and now this is apparently their biggest selling tobacco. Am I correct on that one? I'm pretty sure. And this is the weird thing, because now I'd say I haven't had it for a while, but I've smoked a lot of this dark Kendal flake. And everyone says, this is really powerful, really strong nicotine. Yeah, I just don't get that. You know, and I know I've got a nicotine tolerance, and I keep saying that, and that may be the case, but every review I've seen, it's saying, oh yeah, you know, this is really strong. Get a lot of nicotine and get the whirlies out of this one. I just love the flavour of this one. With all Sam Goworth, you get quality Virginians on there, but I just love that Tonquin bean taste that's in there, and its unique taste, and this is fabulous stuff. I've got to smoke some of the other ones I've got in jars at the moment before I open. I've got, again, I've just had a look pulling the ones out. I had a little sneaky peek at my full tin tobacco stash, and I've got 5 of these, aging nicely, so I can afford to crack one open. Oh yes, the Prince of all vapours, St James flake, the original bona fide Perique from St James Parish in Louisiana. This is absolutely wonderful. If you like your vapours, you need one of these in your collection. No two ways about it. Well, that's my personal opinion. I'm laughing because I recall just seen this one, and I'm recording a video that Pipe Smoker 1969 Mark over in Wales did recently, following some samples I sent him. That was funny. Black X, finest Kendal twist. Yeah, this is the one that, yeah, you know, tastes like meat or oil from a garage, and does pack a wallop that is nicotine heavy. Yeah, it's a black twist. That is all there is to that one. And if you need to know any more about that, go and watch Mark's video. Pipe Smoker 1969. Yeah, I sent him samples and that was one of them. Oh yes, okay then. Sam Goworth, classic. Everyone knows this one. Squadron Leader. Ooh, sorry, getting a flash off the tin there. Again, I've got a couple of tins of this in storage, which is probably wrong because I think that Latakia doesn't store particularly brilliantly. Although I did read somewhere of a couple of pipe smokers who, what was it, one of the Rat Trays ones? Was it Black Mallory? A 20-year-old tub of Black Mallory, and they said it was absolutely beautiful. So, you know, maybe Latakia does store well. But again, this and another one I'm going to show you are the two Latakia based ones that I will keep, and I will smoke infrequently, but every now and then I'll crack open because they're not too Latakia heavy for me. This is again quality Sam Goworth Virginia, so I've got a lovely sweetness, and it just keeps enough in the background on that smoking Latakia for me to really enjoy that. Now this one gets a little bit of a bad press. Sam Goworth's Navy Flake. And as I've said before, generally anything that's rum based. Now I know these things don't taste of rum because I drink rum and I'd be the first person to know if it did, but whatever essence it's got in there, it gives that kind of liqueur, rum liqueur flavour, I suppose, a little sweetness, a little different taste to it, which this has got. Again, lovely sweet rich Virginias in there, and just a little pinch of Latakia, which is almost a wisp going through everything, yeah, to make that absolutely gorgeous. And as odd as it may sound for me to say this, without that Latakia in there, this will just be rum flake. Yeah, Gareth and Hogarth's rum flake, which again I enjoy, but brilliant. Just putting that Latakia in there. Oh. Okay, Rattray's Old Gowrie. Purportedly a milder brother of this one. Yeah, I'd say that was the case. I remember when I first smoked this, I thought, my God, I'm not getting anything out of this at all. Probably because I wasn't smoking in an utterly clean pipe, which you have to do again with this one. It's quite, I find it quite fussy because the flavour is very mild and very subtle. I say this one being a little bit stronger, you get the flavour immediately from it. So with a good clean pipe and smoked slowly, you know, again, yeah, a good Virginia based Gowrie. Again, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that might have Kentucky and Perique in it, but it's just purportedly not as strong as the Hell of the Wine. I'm running out of space on it now. You can see this, I'm thinking, oh God, they're going to fall in a minute. Another Rattray's. And again, funny enough, this was something someone commented on when I was doing my search for aromatics. Again, it's been a long time since I've had this one, but I recall this one being not bad, but tasting of cherry. But someone said, yeah, this is actually really nice. I don't know why I picked this one. I think I was perhaps misled. You know, Charles Mixture. You know, the Rattray's boxes are all quite elegant. Boxes, tins, labels, quite elegant. And I just thought this would perhaps be an aromatic out of the ordinary. I probably got it on a whim, but my recollection of it was not bad, but cherries, nothing special. Robert McConnell's Scottish Cake, another fine vapour. All the right ingredients, you know, fine vapours. Depending how, I mean, I do tend to like Perique perhaps on the strong side, which is why I will always salute Glyn at Gauntleys when he does his Bayou blend. He puts about 16% Perique in it, brilliant. But again, if you don't particularly want it that strong, and sometimes I don't always want the Perique that dominant, you know, this is a great vapour. It's I would say a kind of a broken flake if I recall in that one, but very subtle, so you get the mixtures of the Virginias and the Perique together. And one I will always have next to St James's Flake as a good vapour to keep in there. Another classic, Marlin Flake. The longest flakes surely in the world. If any of you have smoked Marlin Flake, it's just one big long flake just coiled together in there, and it's just wonderful. When I first smoked this, I was rather taken by surprise. It was a long time ago. I think, oh my God, what do I do with that? It literally came out about that long. But you adapt it, you break it off. You know, this is the holy trinity. It's got to be said. Hell of the Wine, Marlin Flake, and Old Gowrie. Were I to have to choose from all three of them, I think it's that one that I would plump for. And probably because it is in flake form and probably that little bit richer taste. Again, it's Virginia, and I don't know whether there's Kentucky in this one, but Perique as well. I can't tell you what the difference between the three of them is. This is probably, I think, maybe the strongest of them all, and the most flavoursome. So yeah, of the trinity of the three, I would just have that one as well. It's a classic Virginia. Okay. Peterson's Old Dublin. Again, one of the Peterson ones I would regularly go to, and another Latakia based one that I will generally have in stock that I smoke every now and again. This one, because with Latakia, I'm not quite sure what else is in there. Virginia, and there's, it's got some Turkish in there as well. There's a kind of a warmth to the sweetness of the Virginias and the Turkish that override the smoky Latakia to the degree where I like the flavour of it as well. So Squadron Leader, just for that sweetness of the Virginias, but this has got a more warm flavour to it. I'm not describing these very well, am I? But I wasn't intending to do a review on each one. Peterson Sweet Killarney. I don't know, my opinion is very sweet. Yeah, that's all I can remember that one, so let me not say any more and waffle about that one. You're sticking with me, guys. There, we've got about half a dozen more to go. Well done. Has any of you nodded off or just switched off and gone somewhere else? I'm finding it fascinating, by the way. This is great fun. Just holding tins up and just burbling on about them. Ah, right, another lovely one. W.O. Larson Selected Blend number 32. Open this, it's in a curly cup form, little curly flakes, coins, beautiful. So when you open it up, it just looks great. And you get that gorgeous like honey sweetness candy. You get a sweet shot coming out of it, which isn't particularly there when you're smoking it. But quality Virginia's, quality tobaccos in there, and it's this that reminds me, or the other way around, of the Pfeifenschilder that Yogi and Eric have sent me from Germany. I'm thinking of, because I've not smoked this for a little while, but that was the first thing that struck me when I smoked this Pfeifenschilder and smelt it in the little packages, was Larson's Curly Flake. Great stuff. Oh, some more Dunhills now. I'll show you how random these things were. My Mixture 965. Again, I can't smoke this. I think I prefer this one. I know they did a lot of Latakia based ones, but this one is not too overwhelming again for me. Again, I'm not sure it's something I go to regularly. I do like it. It seems to be more dominant with the Orientals to me, so I get a lot of more sweetness out of it and less of the smoky Latakia, I recall. But what Virginias and Orientals are in there, are quality stuff and very, very well blended. So yeah, I quite like that one, and I'm really thinking about whether that's another one to add in to the Latakia based ones that I tend to keep. Dunhill Early Morning Pipe, one of the reintroduced ones a couple of years ago that they came back, I'm pleased to say. Again, I don't know, going way back to when Dunhill's first, or where we'd done by Murray's and Son instead of, I think they're done by Orlick now. I could be wrong there, I'm not very good at that kind of thing. And I started trying other tobaccos other than the flakes I was doing. I was intrigued by an early morning pipe. Now this has got Latakia in it and Orientals, if I recall. And I thought, oh, it's going to be, something to smoke in the morning, very light, slightly flavoursome, but not too strong and not too smoky. I don't know, I'd smoke that in the morning, I don't know. But for those of you who are into Latakias, maybe you would. But I don't know. Yeah, going quality tobaccos, you can't take that away from the Dunhill stuff. All it golden sliced, brilliant. So many people, I've not heard a bad word said about this stuff, and everyone loves it. Really rich, again citrusy, on more on the orange side of it, with a little bit of honey underneath. I'm getting out of it. Absolutely wonderful stuff. 2 more to go. Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I said a little bit about that recently. Smoked it a long time ago. Wasn't that impressed about it, but again, didn't make any notes to say why I wasn't impressed with it. But having come back to it, because I heard someone do a review saying this was a good aromatic. I tried it again recently in a sampler. This is quite old, this one, and it wasn't as bad as I remember, but again it's just a Virginia with burley in it, so yeah, that's something I would have in my rotation. Oh, I end on another classic as well. We were talking about Perique, Davidoff flake medallions. Again, beautiful big medallions. This comes in with a centre of Perique in it. Beautiful. Quality tobaccos, bit on the pricey side, as all Davidoff are, but I'm quite happy to pay the extra money for for this one as well. I've got another one lurking here, which is currently in a mixture with some Balkans, Stockaby's Balkan Supreme, acting as a little Scottish mixture I put together. Bagpiper's Dream. Now, this is a classic example of me not reading the description of tobacco. For Rattrays, I assumed this was a ready mixed Highland blend of Virginia's, Cavendish, Perique, and Latakia. Sometimes they leave the Perique out of these things. No, it's aromatic, and very much an aromatic. And at the time I kind of went, oh my god, why did I buy 100 gram tin? That's all you can get it in. And it's before I know I could get a sample of it from Greens of Leeds, Smoke King. So yeah, but having tried the aromatics recently, as I mentioned during that video, on reflection this is probably better than a lot of them I tried, and got more character and more complexity to it really. That's it for all the empty tins I've got. If you've stuck with me, well done. I hope it was remotely interesting. It has been for me, which is not the way it's supposed to be. So to be honest with you, because that's banged on, I have no intention to make any more videos this weekend, you'll be pleased to hear. I probably won't during the week, and please comment on this video and any others I do. I think I'm out later on. I've got my friends, I might have a call from my friend, so we may be going out, so it may be that I won't be able to reply to your comments tonight, and it's unlikely that I will do during the week, but please don't let that stop, because when I do get a chance, even if it's reading them, I might be able to reply to them. I do like getting them, whatever you have to say, even if that was crap. I'd rather you do that than just put a dislike, tell me why it was crap, okay? So I will probably see you next week, or you'll see me next week on a video. I will hopefully see some of you guys if you make videos during the week, because I'll be watching. So thanks ever so much for sticking with me if you have. Take good care. Happy smokes. Bye bye.